yet. That that is the all right. I need to share the screen. Okay, so before we continue, let's review what we learned so far. Okay, now, so before that, we know the Buddha, before enlightened, he have he had gone and learned from other two teachers. The first one is called Alala Kalama. So which this teacher declared up to the dimension of nothingness. That is the third Anubhaja. Now, how do they practice meditation? All right. Now you can see the Pali word conviction, persistent, mindfulness, concentration, discernment. So it's same, like we say, the way they practice mindfulness, practice the five faculties. After that, he learned from another teacher. There's a Uddaka Ramaputta, which is either the son or disciple of Rama, who had passed away. Okay, and his name is Uddaka. Now, because why we know the Rama did pass away? Because the past and whatever they did the Rama. Okay, the Rama already passed away. So at that time, Uddaka, he did not attend. Only when the ascetic Gautama successfully attend this neither perception nor non-perception, then Uddaka, he tried hard. Later, he also attained. That is why he also said he even let the ascetic Gautama lead the community. Why? The reason is he did not attend. So that's why the more qualified one, which is the ascetic Gautama, should take over the community. That is a other, this is considered a group ascetic practice samatha. All these are samatha, not the vipassana yet. Okay. Then Uddaka Ramaputta placed the ascetic Gautama. That is before he became enlightened. We don't call him Buddha Gautama. We call it ascetic Gautama, right? Play him as a teacher, did honor. So you can see the people at that time are very humble. Okay, they are not the mind are pure. So if they find somebody is more capable than them, even he pass the community to them, right? Now, the ascetic Gautama, he find out, he said, if we look at the original Pali, it does not lead to awakening, Sambuddha. Does not lead to unabiding, Nibbana. Right. So how do we know that? So what you know that is you open this sutta and you go to any website, type the Basara Sit Sutta, right? Then you can see the text. Okay, I always show you, or when you go to this sutta, look for this sutta and just open this one, view the line, Pali and line by line. Okay, so this is the best way to look at the English and Pali. Something like this. This one does not lead to Nibbida, this will show the Nirodha, not to Sambuddha, awakening, not to Nibbana. Here it translates as extinguishment. So it only lead to the first one to nothingness, and then the second one to neither perception nor non-perception. Okay. Now that is why the ascetic Gautama feel that was not the way, so he gave up on them. So he left. He dissatisfied with that Dhamma. This Dhamma is not the Buddha's Dhamma, it's the Dhamma, the teaching of practicing the samatha. Okay, now let us see how do we practice samatha, right? To gain even to first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So the method is same. You have the conviction, persistent, mindfulness, concentration. That is faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom, which we know as five faculty. So any meditation center you go, the teacher will talk about this, right? So you need to have belief in the teaching, belief in the method. Then you need to have put effort. You also need to have mindfulness, right? Then concentration means your mind be able to focus on the object of meditation. And finally, even in samatha, you also need to have some little bit wisdom, right? So by this method, the ascetic Gautama, he successfully, all right? So now we look at the method now, okay. Now, so I like to discuss the method here. Now you all know we have how many jhana? We have for samatha practice. This is not in your text. You need to practice to get maximum or the highest 8 jhana. So we call it 4 rupa jhana and 4 arupa jhana. Now, what are all these jhana? Like rupa jhana means you still have the material. Rupa means material. Arupa means immaterial. All right. So normally people will get first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Right. So right. So I will not go detail here because today we want to focus on 4 arupa jhana. Now, infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness. Now, the Alala Kalama, he get this one. So the first teacher, he get this one. Now the second teacher, there is a for ascetic Gautama, he get this one, which is we call it so both teacher get the highest, right? Highest jhana, nothingness and neither perception. So all these are the highest one. Now, how do you get this jhana? How do you practice this? Okay, just similarly, okay, now let's say somebody use we call it the earth kasina. Earth kasina, you make a round piece like this, then you look at it, we call it kasina here. So let's say you use kasina, earth kasina, means that you go to make a piece of earth, or you go to the place where the earth is nice, so you make a circle there, or you cut something like this, look like earth, then you look at it again and again and again until your mind absorb to it and you gain to first jhana, right? Then after that, you come out from it, you practice the second jhana. Come out from it, you practice the jhana. Come out from it, you practice fourth jhana. Now, okay, I think most of you understand means jhana means your mind is actually absorbed to the object. Now, how to get this immaterial? Okay, now we can look at the Bhikkhu Bodhi tanks, right? Now, which is okay. Now you can see in any of the Abhidhamma text, we have this is we call it immaterial, Akasa, Avinyana, Akinchana, Sanyana. So we just look at how the text explain. Okay, so I encourage all of you, to try to get the Abhidhamma book and try read it. All right. So it's a little bit here. Okay, I think we can read from here. How do you get this one? After we read first, then I will explain in simple English. This is quite difficult. All right. Buddhika Chong. You can read slowly. Okay. This one only. Can you see?
The base of infinite space, Akasananchayatana, the first of the 4 immaterial jhanas, is the attainment of the base of infinite space. To reach this, a meditator who has mastered the 5th fine material jhana based on a kasina object spreads out the counterpart sign of the kasina until it becomes immeasurable in extent. Then he removes the kasina by attending only to the space it pervaded, contemplating it as infinite space. Through repeated attention given in this way, there eventually arises in absorption a citta, having as object the concept of infinite space. akasapanyati. The expression base of infinite space, strictly speaking, refer to the concept of infinite space, which serve as an object of the first immaterial sphere consciousness. Here, the word ayatana, base, has the sense of habitat or dwelling for the citta of the jhana. However, in a derivative sense, the expression base of infinite space is also extended to the jhana itself.
I think it's not easy to understand this, right?
Mm.
Okay, so in simple language, all right, how you go? Okay, now let's say this is the object of your meditation, okay? It's a earth kasina, it's you make it round, use the earth, physical earth to do it. So you sit down and look at it, contemplate it again, until you close your eyes and this sign, we call it nimitta, this sign appear in your mind. So you look at it, like for example, now you look at it. After that, when you close your eye, you can see the same brown color circle in your mind, right? So if you manage to absorb it in the mind and it become brighter and brighter and brighter, then if you or your mind be able to unite with it, then you enter the jhana. Okay, basically you open with physical eyes, look at it. Then when you close your eyes, you can see it in your mind. Okay. Then you focus the object, not the outside one, the object in your mind. Focus it until it become bright and bright and bright and shiny. Then your mind absorb to it, right? Then after that, okay, now, so you need to spread out the, we call it the nimitta, okay, the counterpart sign. So when you see in your mind this round circle, so you spread as far as possible. Then after that, you remove this object in your mind. Okay. So what left is just a space. So this is called infinite space. Right? So it's actually a lot of to do with a very strong mind. Your mind must be very strong to have the infinite space. Right? So basically, you see this one with physical eyes. Then you close your eyes, you see this in your mind. Then this is called the counterpart sign. When you successfully, then you make this counterpart sign very, very big, very, very far. After that, you remove it. What left is only space. Okay. When this is totally removed from your mind, what you left is only space. So this is called infinite space. Now after that, there will be infinite consciousness. So this is Abhidhamma text again. So we read again. Okay, it's good to read Abhidhamma. Okay. Ivy, your turn, Ivy.
From okay,
This
the
one, this one.
base, the base of infinite. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Consciousness, Vijnananchayatana. The consciousness that is here, said to be infinite, is the consciousness of the first immaterial absorption. Since that first immaterial absorption has as its object the base or concept of this infinite space, this implies that the consciousness which pervades that space as its object also partakes in its infinity. To reach this attainment, therefore, the meditator takes as object the consciousness of the base of infinite space and contemplates it as infinite consciousness until the second immaterial absorption arises. The base of nothingness.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so we just thank you, Ivy. So we stop here first. Okay, now, so after you remove the casino from your mind, all right, so what you have is actually remove the object from mind, what you have is on its face, all right? Then there will be the consciousness that contemplate that space. So because it's infinite space, so we call it infinite consciousness. Because the mind is looking at the space. So this mind that takes the infinite space is called infinite consciousness, right? That's a very simple saying. That's the second. First one is infinite space, second one infinite consciousness. Okay. Now, this nothingness is also very interesting. Thomas?
The base of nothingness, akinya chanya yatana. The third immaterial attainment has as its object the present non-existence, voidness, or secluded aspect of the consciousness pertaining to the base of infinite space. By giving attention to the absence of that consciousness, the third immaterial absorption arises, taking as its object the concept of non-existence or nothingness, natibhava panyati, in respect of the first immaterial consciousness.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is called nothingness. Nothingness actually means nothing, right? So first is, just how we say, there's one consciousness that contemplate just now the space. Okay, now nothingness means we say that we just thinking. This consciousness does not exist. This consciousness is absent. So actually it's a concept, right? It's a nothingness. In fact, is this attainment is a concept, taking the absence of the earlier consciousness. Okay. So this means that first, I'll repeat, you have after you remove the kasina object, so the counterpart there, then you have the space. So after the space, the consciousness that take that space is called infinite consciousness. Then after that, there's a practice of thinking that consciousness itself is absent. It's not there. That's why this is called nothingness. It's not there at all. Right? Yeah, I think a lot of people will not understand because all these are very deep jhana practice. Kuma, the next one. Slow, very slow. Yeah.
The base of neither perception nor non-perception. Eva sanyan asanyayatana. This fourth and final immaterial attainment is so called because it cannot be said either to include perception or to exclude perception. In this type of consciousness, the factor of perception, sanya, has become so subtle that it can no longer perform the decisive function of perception, and thus this state cannot be said to have perception. Yet perception is not altogether absent, but remains in a residual form. Thus it cannot be said not to have perception. Although perception alone is mentioned, all the other mental constituents in this chitta also exist in a state of such extreme subtlety that they cannot be described as either existent or non-existent. This fourth immaterial absorption takes as its object the consciousness of the base of nothingness, the third immaterial absorption.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the last one is we call it neither perception. What is that? So actually, this one is it takes the consciousness of this nothingness. First, your mind have this nothingness. So neither perception, nothingness actually is talking about the consciousness of that nothingness. So actually one related to another, right? So perception is neither present nor absent, means it's a very little bit. Okay. Now when we talk about the sanya, right, you know the five aggregates, we have the sanya, right? So sanya is one of the five aggregates. So at that time, including the other thing like feeling, mental formations, other consciousness, and so on. So everything is little bit only. Okay. Feeling, perception, another one is Vedana, Sanya. Okay, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Chitta. So because of this, everything is little bit. So if we can say it's not present, not absent, it's very, very subtle. So the mind is at the very subtle. And that's why people like it. Why? Because the mind is very subtle or very little bit only. So at that time, because of no mind, then it's very peaceful. As long as you have the mind will have activity, so it's not peaceful. So if the mind is little bit, of course, it's very peaceful. So the teacher, they practice the first teacher, Alala Kalama, nothingness. Second teacher, Udakarama Putta, or Rama itself, teach the neither perception nor non-perception. Means at that time, the mind exists very, very subtle. Because the mind is very, very subtle, that's why it's very peaceful. Because of very peacefulness, people try very hard to get to jhana. Normally, first jhana is very peaceful, and here is even more peaceful. Why? Because the mind is at a very subtle stage. All right. So this just some idea about how we practice, which is actually very very not easy to practice. That's why the Buddha, the ascetic Gautama, because of his previous perfection and previous practice, he learned very fast and he practiced very fast. Okay. Okay, now. So we see even finally the Buddha, the ascetic Gautama gave up all the all these very highest jhana. You know, we say all these are the jhana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That's the highest jhana. So four rupa. Even the Buddha, the ascetic Gautama, he totally abandoned the jhana practice because it does not lead to nibbana. But not to say all these are useless. If your mind is very restless, if you can get some jhana, of course, it's good. Because based on jhana power, you can go for vipassana, also good. Okay. Now we continue, all right? Now we know the ascetic Gautama give up all the jhana practice. He's not happy with the Dhamma. Why? Because it does not lead to awakening, does not lead to nibbana. It only let him pass away. He reborn. If you look at the 31 planes of existence, he reborn at the highest plane. He's still in a samsara, in the rounds of rebirth. Okay, now we continue the story. So we know that the Buddha, the Bodhisattva, which is ascetic Gautama, he want to look for the real peace, right? Leonard who? You can read these two. Read slowly, okay?
In search of what might be skillful, seeking the unexcelled state of sublime peace, wandered by stages in the Magadhan country, and came to the military town of Uruvela. There I saw some delightful countryside, with an inspiring forest grove, a clear flowing river with fine, delightful banks, and villages of arms going on all sides. The thought occurred to me, how delightful is this countryside, with its inspiring forest grove, clear flowing river with fine delightful banks, and villages for arms going on all sides. This is just right for the exertion of a clansman intent on exertion. So I sat down right there, thinking, this is just right for exertion. Then, monks being subject myself to birth, seeing the drawbacks of birth, seeking the unborn, unexcelled rest from the yoke, unbinding, I reach the unborn, unexcelled rest from the yoke, unbinding, being subject myself to aging, illness, death, sorrow, defilement, seeing the drawbacks of aging, illness, death, sorrow, defilement, seeking the agingless, illnessless, deathless, sorrowless, unexcelled rest from the yoke, unbinding, I reach the agingless, illnessless, deathless, sorrowless, unexcelled rest from the yoke, unbinding. Knowledge and vision arose in me. Unprovoked is my release. This is the last birth. There is now no further becoming.
Okay, thank you. So now you can see that he abandoned the teachings of the two earlier teachers. So then he go to find a suitable place, so a quiet place to practice meditation. And it must have water, because the people there, they don't cook, right? They don't cook the work with the fire, whatever, the ascetic. So they look for a place they can practice meditation, a place they can drink, and a place they can obtain food, all right? And normally they'll just live in the forest, not live in the house. So this is ascetic practice. Then he want to practice. Now he start to practice already. Now he understand that this is the first noble truth, right? You don't know aging, sickness, there's a first noble truth. Then after that, he looking for the nibbana. So when he say like this, he reached the agingless. This one means that he attained nibbana. There's a third noble truth. And then we say release. So that means that he's released from the samsara, last birth. That show that he's a arahant. Okay, even the Buddha is considered arahant, because when we read the ETP, so Bhagawa, arahant. So Buddha is arahant. Arahant, what's the meaning of arahant? Arahant means that is the fourth level of enlightenment. All right, this is the arahant. So by this statement, if you read the sutta, normally when the people say, or any of the arahant or Buddha teacher, Buddha disciples say, this is my last birth. So that's confirmed he's arahant. So how did the Buddha, the ascetic Gautama, so after he practiced meditation, he gained to first enlightenment, then straightway second enlightenment, then third enlightenment, and fourth enlightenment subsequently, straightway. And this confirmed that no more becoming. So that's why the Buddha never reborn again, because of no more becoming. Okay, now continue the story. Actually, this is very nice sutta. This sutta is the one that we really see how the process of the ascetic Gautama, then I see how the Buddha become enlightened. All right, next person, Jiaxing. Jiaxing.
Yeah. Then the thought occurred to me. This Dharma that I have attained is deep, hard to see, hard to realize, peaceful, refined, beyond the scope of conjecture, subtle, to be experienced by the wise. But this generation delights in attachment, is excited by attachment, enjoys attachment. For a generation delighting in attachment, excited by attachment, enjoying attachment, this or that conditionality and dependent co-arising are hard to see. This state, too, is hard to see. The resolution of all fabrications, the relinquishment of all acquisitions, the ending of craving, dispassion, cessation, unbinding. And if I were to teach the Dhamma, and others would not understand me, that would be tiresome for me, troublesome for me. Just
Okay,
then,
thank you.
this is okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we stop here. Okay, now what the Buddha realized that is the Dhamma is, sorry, this is a keyword. Now the Dhamma the Buddha learned is very deep, not easy for people to see, very subtle. Only wise people can see it, peaceful. But the normal people, they like attachment. Everybody like attachment, like worldly things. Okay, and the conditional dependent co-rising. So this will refer to dependent on nature. Look at the graph. Okay. Where is it from? Okay, so yeah. Right. No, not this one. But never mind, we go back to this one. All right. So anyway, this is dependent origination. All right. So beside deep, so generation means the word paja. So they also will not understand. There's a simile of the, we call it like covered by the dust. So they cannot see the Dhamma. Right. And fabrication will be about sankhara. Right. Relinquishment of all the attachment. And then the nibbana will translate as unbinding. So the Buddha think if he to teach and nobody understand him, so it will be very tiring. That's his mind at that time. Then what happened is this one. And then these verses unspoken in the past, unheard before occurred to me. Enough now with teaching, what with only with difficulty. I reach this Dhamma is not realized by those overcome by aversion and passion. What is extra, subtle, deep, hard to see, go against the flow. Those delighting in passion, cloud in the mass of darkness will not see. All right, people are having delusion. Delusion is considered like dark. In the dark, they cannot see things clearly, so they will not see. Right? And the Dhamma grow against the flow because people are flowing according to the stream, which is easy. So if somebody want to learn the Dhamma, normally there's the terms we go against the flow, which is more difficult. Let's see the one. No, this one. Okay, yeah, now I find the Pali. Okay, just now I was talking the Pali is missing. Okay, dependent on this one. Ita Pachayata and Paticca Samuppada. Okay, I was looking at the Pali just now. Okay, this one. This one. This one is talking about dependent origination. Nobody can understand it. Paticca Samuppada. Ida Pachata means dependent on that. So everything is based on condition, right? So without condition, things will not arise. So that's a Pali. Ida Pachata and Paticca Samuppada. Right? So that's why the Buddha think that nobody understand, and he think that it will be very tiring from him. Okay. And then because people are delighted in passion, they are like in darkness. Now, what happened? So his mind, as I reflected thus, the mind inclined to dwelling at ease, not to teach the Dhamma. So he didn't want to teach the Dhamma at that time. Okay, next will be interesting. Okay, next person. Cindy Yo.
As I reflected thus, my mind inclined to dwelling at ease, not to teaching the Dhamma. Then Brahma Sahampati, having known with his own awareness, the line of thinking in my awareness stopped. The world is lost. The world is destroyed. The mind of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the rightly self-awakened one, inclines to dwelling at ease, not to teaching the Dhamma. Then, just as a strong man might extend his flexed arm or flex his extended arm, Brahma Sahampati disappeared from the Brahma world and reappeared in front of me. Arranging his upper robe over one shoulder, he knelt down with his right knee on the ground, saluted me with his hands before his heart, and said to me, Lord, let the Blessed One teach the Dharma. Let the one well gone teach the Dharma. There are beings with little dust in their eyes who are falling away because they do not hear the Dharma. There will be those who will understand the Dharma. This is what Brahma Sahampati said. Having said that, he further said this.
Okay.
Further down.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, now, who is this Brahma Samhapati? He's staying in the Brahma world. Okay. Now, according to what I read, his name was called Sahaka. So he was born. So yeah. Now, according to commentary, so he's a anagami, means he had some third level enlightenment. Sudavasa. Sudavasa is a realm where the anagami born, third enlightenment, right? So some say the name should be Sahakapati, right? So later when Buddha attained enlightenment, had okay. Anyway, we know that he's coming from the Brahma world. Okay. So he was very special because he's considered the one that asked the Buddha to teach. By what? Because he said that there are beings with little dust in their eyes. Because if they don't hear the Dhamma, they will fade away. So those will be people who understand the Dhamma because little dust. Like what you say, some people with lots of dust, lots of defilements. Some people with little dust means little bit defilement. Okay. So you can see the way he appeared. Right? Now it's strange to say, how can a Brahma he understand the mind of the Bodhisattva? Yeah, that's one thing we can learn. And then he just appears suddenly, and you can see the way he do it is very polite. As a Brahma, he also knelt down like human. The way he really behaved like human, not just standing there. He knelt down and then salute and requested Buddha to teach. Okay, we need somebody who can read poem very well. Not easy to read this poem. Okay, Sugandha, you want to read the poem?
Start with in the past, is it, Sayaji?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In the past, there appeared among the Magadhans an impure Dhamma, devised by the stain. Throw open the door to the deathless. Let them hear the Dhamma, realized by the stainless one. Just as one standing on a rocky crag might see people all around below, so, O wise one, with all around vision, ascend the palace, fashion of Dhamma, free from sorrow. Behold the people submerged in sorrow, oppressed by birth and aging. Rise up, hero, victor in battle. O teacher, wonder without depth in the world, teach the Dhamma, O blessed one. There will be those who will understand.
Okay, so this is the plead by the request by the Brahma Samhampati. So try to remember these names because these are very significant, important beings in the Buddhism. right? So he requests. So like this, you see, when one stand at a high place, you can see all the people below, right? So you can see people are submerged by sorrow, oppressed by birth and aging. So he tried to appeal to the compassionate nature of the Buddha. Now we can call him Buddha because he's enlightened already. So that's why he called him, asked him to preach. Okay. Yeah, next person, Sister Yo Hoi Chek.
Good evening, Saji. Then, having understood Brahma's invitation, out of compassion for beings, I surveyed the world with the eye of an awakened one. As I did so, I saw beings with little dust in their eyes and those with much, those with keen faculties and those with dull, those with good attributes and those with bad, those easy to teach and those hard, some of them seeing disgrace and danger in the other world. Just as in a pond of blue or red or white lotuses, some lotuses born and growing in the water might flourish while immersed in the water without rising up from the water. Some might stand at an even level with the water, while some might rise up from the water and stand without being smeared by the water. So too, surveying the world with the eye of an awakened one, I saw things with little dust in their eyes, and those with much, those with keen faculties, and those with dull, those with good attributes, and those with bad, those easy to teach, and those hard, some of them seeing disgrace and danger in the other world.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Saji.
Now we can, thank you. Now, okay, so Brahma invite by personally, we call it two courses. The first course is outside invitation, right? The course. We normally say the course is this called external course, which is invitation by the Brahma. The internal course is the Buddha's his own. We call it the Pali we call it Maha Karuna, great compassion. Because we're thinking that why did the Buddha become Buddha in the first place? Because of his compassion. If not because of compassion, he will not practice so many thousand millions of life to fulfill parami to become the Buddha. And if the Brahma did not request him, will he teach? What do you think? If nobody requests the Brahma, if the Brahma never requests or nobody requests the Buddha to teach, will the Buddha teach? Yes or no? What do you all think?
Yes, I think yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Who say no?
No. No, he will not teach.
Who say no? Huh? Jamie. All right. He will teach, but he will wait for certain times. After he enlightened, he needs some time to look at the condition of beings, right? Now he look at the condition being. That's why he find out even the Brahma not inviting him to teach, he will teach. Because the purpose of Buddha is to save the world. So that's why even the Brahma did not invite, he also will understand that some people with little dust. Okay, now what's the meaning of little dust? Little dust means, actually, if you look at the Pali, so this one means the little dust, much dust, expand further. So in Pali, it's like the first of the, we call it, words is explained by later one. So little dust is explained by keen faculties, good attributes, easy to teach. Because some people are easy to teach. Some people see the grace, disgrace and danger. Means see the world is full of suffering. All right. So little dust explained by keen faculties, good attributes, easy to teach, and this one. So if you look at the little dust, this is just a simile. All right. Not to say their eyes is really full of dust. It's just a simile. Like when we have dust, our eyes cannot see properly. And also like this second one, also simile. So the lotus never come out from it just stay inside the water. Some even on the surface of the water. Some come out from the water and stand without smear by water. Now because the lotus is a lotus lake is full of mud. All right. So but the thing is when the lotus come out from the mud, it never been smear, made dirty by the mud. So in Chinese we call it 出淤泥而不染, right? Okay, so there's a simile here. So we have two simile. One is the little dust, another one is the lotus that come up and not smeared by the water. That's why everywhere we go, if you notice, is all the Buddha's paintings are always full of lotus because of this simile. Because this simile, little dust in eye is difficult to draw. All right, but lotus is easy to draw. Okay. Okay, now some more. Okay, now this nice. Right. Alice? Okay. Alice, you can read now. Haven't seen this. Are you around, Alice? Okay. Okay now. Okay now.
Okay.
Wunhua, you can. Yeah, Alice. Yes, you
Sally,
can
I
read
can.
this one. Okay,
Yeah.
please read.
From
Yeah.
where?
Haven't seen this.
Haven't seen this. I answer Brahma Sahampati in verse. Open are the doors to the deathless, to those with ears. Let them show their conviction, perceiving trouble. O Brahma, I did not tell people the refined, sublime Dharma. Then Brahma Sahampati, thinking, the Blessed One has given his consent to teach the Dharma, bow down to me and circling me on the right, disappear right there.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we look at the body. Okay, now we have one word, go against the stream. So patisoda, right? Go against the flow of the stream, patisoda. Sota is a stream, so patisoda go against stream. Just now the body is the mind inclined to passive, not teach the Dhamma. Then the Brahma Samapatti come, right? Okay. Right, there's some bindas and so on. Okay, I think the Bali is not same this. Okay, never mind. Okay, we should rest 5 minutes, then we continue. So we rest for a while. So you all can go and walk first.